remember being 17 years of age at my first ever youth camp. It was the first time I'd ever really experienced the power and presence of God in my own life. It was nearly 10 years ago now, but I remember that last night of youth camp like it was yesterday. For it was in that moment that God began to speak to me vision and dream for the future. It was in that moment that he began to speak to me about what might unfold over the next years and decades. That night, God spoke to me three words that would ultimately shape the future of my life, determine the course, even the purpose of my existence. Three words: lead a generation. To lead a generation, what did that even mean? In that moment, I didn't know. But what I did know is that God had just touched my life in a way that I never knew possible. And my life had just become about doing everything I could to see as many people as I could experience that same love that I had. Those three words have clocked up many miles. They've taken us on an adventure I could never have written. But now we're going into a new season. A season where those three words mean something altogether new. Those three words, to lead a generation, have now come to mean this: that we are launching Generation Church. Described as Britain's boom city with a population growth rate of over 3 times the national average, seeing most of its growth through graduates, young professionals and young adults, Manchester is one of the key strategic cities for the future of our nation, and Manchester is where Generation Church will find its home.
It is the pursuit of Generation Church to have at its very core the authenticity of the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's the gospel that reconciles a heart, it's the gospel that unites a city, and ultimately it's the gospel that transforms a generation. The pioneering team of Generation Church will not only be made up of great leaders, but of great friends. Friends who are passionate about the local church, who are excited about the future of our nation, but ultimately who have a vision that is bigger than themselves. One thing is for sure, that the success of Generation Church is dependent on the sacrifice of many that have gone before us and many that are still to come. We cannot do this alone. So if you would like to offer your support in any way you can give it, please check out our website at genchurch.cc.
Generation Church, unapologetic in its bold vision to touch a city in order to touch a nation. Passionate about the United Kingdom, and it will be our great pursuit to plant life-giving churches all across this great nation. This is our time, this is our city, this is our nation, this is Generation Church.